everybody doing tonight? Why are we out here?
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black is beautiful.
Black is beautiful.
No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
So my name is Albert Lee. And I'm out here in red and black. The colors of the Democratic Socialists of America.
Woo!
The colors of the Socialists of Color. But before I get started here, I want to acknowledge that we are on stolen land. When I was in law school, we talked about property rights. They only extended to the point of if you were white. You know, we had this whole thing about the doctrine of discovery. So apparently there were no people here when white folks discovered this place. That's not true. So we are out here. This is what? Day 964?
65.
65. And I am so glad to see such a large group again tonight, night after night, in support of
Black Lives.
That's right. So we know that we've got some of our federal officers allegedly leaving. But that's not the end of the mission. It's not the end of the mission until we all have security and safety and comfort in our own homes. Until we all are able to go out jogging. Until we're all able to walk in our neighborhoods and our neighbors' neighborhoods. I'm happy to see the moms out here tonight. I see some dads out here tonight. I see lovely Portlanders out here tonight. Thank you all for being here. Now, as a member of the DSA and as a member of the Socialists of Color, there's something very important that I want to talk about. You cannot talk about black liberation and uplifting black folks without talking about our economic system. We have an economic system that is perpetuated on the destruction of black lives. The other day, we had a member of Congress, I think his name is Tom Cotton. Well, he actually said something kind of truthful. He said that we wouldn't have the system or the way that we're living today without slavery. That's true. This country was built by the labor, the free labor of black men and women. We need reparations. So I know that we've got some of our black leadership down the road, NAACP and like down there, and they want to talk about recentering these protests to black lives. These protests have always been about black lives. And we don't need any establishment groups trying to tell us how to protest. When we say that mantra, no justice, no peace, that's exactly what we mean. We cannot have it nice. We cannot have it so that we have these peaceful protests, because a peaceful protest doesn't get you what you want. It doesn't get you what you need. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to support and uplift Black and brown and indigenous folks. Now, I know that we have a series of different folks that are going to come up here to speak, but before I turn over the microphone, I just want to say thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for being a part of this movement, because this is a movement. Now, if Black folks and indigenous folks don't have lives that are uplifted, that destroys all of us, right? So if we cannot live in peace, y'all can't live in peace either. So here's the other thing. When we talk about our COVID crisis, and I'm glad to see everybody is masked up, that is a demonstration of the impact on Black and indigenous folks. When we talk about essential workers, when we talk about those who get the testing, when we talk about those who are protected versus those who are not, if you're Blacker, if you're browner, you tend to be on the short end of the stick. Now, we've got to make sure that we have a society and a country that supports all of us, that is going to help elevate all of us. When we look at it, today is August 1st. Today's Rent Day, is it not? Yes, sir. A lot of us are suffering. And we have a federal government that has not done right by us.
No, sir.
When this COVID crisis first hit, the federal government, without batting an eye, dropped trillions of dollars into Wall Street to save Wall Street. But when it was time to talk about giving some economic support, economic relief to the people, well, they had to debate that. It took them 3-4 days to say, you know what, we'll give the people $1,200 one time. Eventually. I think some of us got $1,200 a couple months later. You know, after a couple of months of rent we already due, and that was it. Now Congress decided to go ahead and take vacation for the month of August without providing economic support, without providing support for unemployment, because they are all a part of the ruling class. We have a government that is of, by, and for the 1%. When you have representatives that are multimillionaires, they do not understand the plight of everyday working folks. So that brings up two more points that I want to make before I get down. And the first one is right there. Right in Teresa Raper's there. You cannot say that you are for supporting Black lives if you're not willing to support a Black mayor. We have had 165 years of white leadership in this town. That's not bad. It's not good either. It's just a fact. But we do have a good, a strong, a reputable person that is here as a defender to uplift the voices of the marginalized, to uplift the voices of those that have not been heard, to replace a millionaire man whose family came out here, settled this land, has a town named after them, and basically pushed off native indigenous folks off their lands. We can do better. We can have better. And I know that some of y'all out there are saying, well, wait, we've got a good alternative in Sarah. But I'm telling you, we have an even better alternative with Teresa.
Woo!
Now, this woman, Teresa Rainford, doesn't go out in the limelight, doesn't stand up and say, look at me. She does the hard work in the background. Did y'all know that she sued the president?
Yeah.
Did y'all know that she founded Don't Shoot PDX? She's been doing the work without getting paid. It's time to elevate that voice. Now, because it is a write-in, you gotta write her name in correctly. So I'm gonna tell you how to spell it. Teresa. T-E-R-E-S-S-A.
T-E-R-E-S-S-A.
Rainford. R-A-I-F-O-R-D.
R-A-I-F-O-R-D.
So that's part one. Part two is I'm looking out in this field and I see a lot of good young folks. I see a lot of young diverse folks. I'm telling you, you got any millionaires out here? No, because they're all in the halls of Congress and City Hall and in our state representatives. We need us leading us. So I want to see and I want to support and I want to elevate others, regular everyday folks, to run for office. And I'm not just saying that, I want to help. You can reach me at Albert at albertlee2020.com and I will help you with the next race. I want to see the youngest city councilors. I want to see a more diverse set of state representatives. And I want to see regular people representing us in federal government. Because if Black lives truly matter, we need to get Black and brown lives in office, in power. And I want to leave you with just one last story before I go. And that's, I was a member of the CRC, that is the Citizens Review Committee. It was the committee that was in charge of police oversight in the city of Portland. Completely toothless, which is why I think Joanne is trying to create a new version of that. But as a member of the CRC, what we had to do was we had to go on cop ride-alongs. And so I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. So I picked the East Precinct on a Friday night, third shift, because I wanted to see what the worst of the worst was. And they came over to the car, they brought me into the third precinct, they gave me a tour of the third precinct, and then we walked into roll call. There's 20 cops in roll call. And one of those 20 cops on the other side of the room pointed out at me, and he said, "Don't shoot that one. He's one of ours." So tell me that the cops aren't bad. ACAB. All cops are bastards.
All cops are bastards.
So I had one blatant cop that said, "Don't shoot him, he's one of ours." But I had 19 other cops that didn't do a goddamn thing. ACAB. So I'm going to turn it over. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming out tonight, tomorrow night, and the next night. We don't stop until we're all free.
No justice, no peace.
director for the Center for Study and Preservation of Palestine. Before I say anything, I'd like to start with a land acknowledgement because it's necessary at every single podium. This is the rightful land of the Clackamas, Multnomah, Chinook, Molalla, Kalapuya, and many other tribes. Go beyond that because I'm not hearing it enough. Land back! So I come from a long line of people's resistance. It's in my blood, and I want to give you a little alternative reading to a short poem by Mahmoud Darwish. I'm just going to do the first couple of lines. سجل أنا عربي ورقم بطاقتي 50,000 وأطفالي 8 وتاسعهم سيأتي بعد الصيف بهل تقدر, which means right then I'm Arab. My ID card is number 50,000 and I have 8 kids and the 9th is coming after summer. Are you mad at that? The second stanza is very applicable today. سجل أنا عربي وأعمل مع رفاق الكدحي في محجر وأطفالي 8 السن لهم رغيف والأكواب والدفتر من الصخر ولا أتوصل أصدقائي من بابك ولا أظهر أمام ضلاتي أعتابك فهل تقدر. What that means is I work, I labor and toil with my friend in the stone quarry. And I ask the stones for just a little bit of bread and books for my kids because I will not ask for alms from them being the owners of everything, the masters, and I will not make myself small before your door or in front of your marble steps. This poem speaks to what the problem is that we're here to talk about. All struggle is rooted and exacerbated by capital and ownership and exploitation. Historically, racism, Orientalism, slavery, all these came into existence to put down the indigenous folk and steal them or their land. We saw this in Africa, in the Americas, in Asia, and then later on in the Middle East. Palestine, which is my specific place of origin, was a land that, just like the indigenous land here was called empty, we were a land without people. On the books, that's what it was written. And it's no coincidence that today, what's being protected but some of the world's largest military and surveillance technology companies that the millionaires benefit from in this country, with militarized police, just like you see here. And so not just through imperialism and colonialism to other people, we know that the owners and capital, they'll decimate their own people to maintain power and wealth. They'll decimate their people and the land in the process. They'll break the backs of people working in jobs that grind their bodies, desiccate and pollute the environment, and for what? To barely survive on food that's poisoning us. While the owners of the means of production, the owners who are but a handful across the whole globe who really own it all, they sit back and reap the benefits and returns on 99% of all the wealth in the world. So, I just want to say that only through the power and unity of your fellow worker in the quarry, only with the unity of your comrade at the chalkboard, or the drafting table, or the one that labors in the factory, we must get together so that we own what we make. We must benefit equally from what we make. Only then will the reality come to light that there is more than enough for everybody. More than enough for every and then some. A lot. Only then will we be able to fully tear down I want to say on behalf of the Palestinian people, thank you for letting us stand with you. The Palestinian people know what scarcity and oppression and exploitation and possession are. And we won't stand for it for anybody else ever. Nobody else. Thank you again.
Check. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah. All right, thank you. Hey, y'all, my name is Ray. Thank y'all for letting me speak tonight. Really glad to be here. And I want to take a minute to talk about Spider-Man. Now, hear me out. Stay with me. Spider-Man was one of my favorite movies as a kid, right? And in Spider-Man, there's this one moment when Peter Parker's uncle says to him, y'all probably heard these famous words, with great power comes great responsibility. Right? With great power comes great responsibility. And to me as a kid, this was a really profound thought, really profound idea. In the last few weeks and months of this protest, I've been thinking about that idea a lot. And it's true. Can you hear me? With great power does come great responsibility, but the inverse is true as well. With great responsibility comes great power. Think about that. With great responsibility comes great power. We as a society, we as a people, have a responsibility to defend, protect, and uplift our most vulnerable, our most disenfranchised, and our most oppressed people. We have a responsibility. And when I say that, I'm not speaking in racial terms, I'm speaking about black people in this country. Black trans people, black disabled people, black people in this country. Yes. And in recognizing that responsibility that we all have, we also awaken a power within us. Yes, right? That responsibility is the spark that ignites the flame that starts this revolution and gives us our power. I've been thinking a lot about riot tactics. I've been spending a lot of time at the Justice Center. And I've been listening and watching what the police do. And all of the tactics that they employ, the flashbang grenades, the tear gas, the rubber bullets surrounding us on corners, they all have one common goal. They have one purpose. What is that purpose? To separate us. To split us up. And why? Because they recognize that together we are powerful. That together we are incredibly strong, so they want to divide us. And we're here today to say that we will not be divided. We will not be separated. I've also been thinking a lot about what power is. What does power mean? Who gets it? Who has it? Who gives it away? What makes a king? What makes a king powerful? Is it some decree from God? Is it some moral righteousness that the king has? Is it their physical strength? No, it's none of those things. It's the fact that that king has 100,000 soldiers with swords ready to fight. But what if those soldiers said, we're not going to fight you anymore? We will not defend and uphold this injustice anymore. What if they said that? What if we said that? We will no longer support this regime. What if we're not going to do it? Power, the powers that be, that is an illusion. That is a farce. That is a game that we play every day willingly, that we choose to participate in. And we also have the choice to stop participating. If you think about the 1%, what are they? They're 1%. We are 99%. We are the vast majority of the people of this country, of this city of Portland. And when we stand together, we are powerful. It just takes us waking up to that responsibility and demanding justice, demanding safety, demanding that Black lives matter. We social services, mental health services. We are demanding that Ted Wheeler resign.
Yep.
We are no longer in the business of asking. This is civil unrest. You know what that means? This is civil unrest. That means that we are no longer willing to be complicit in injustice. If you look at the word itself, unrest, we cannot rest. I can't sleep because my brothers and sisters and non-binary family, we are dying. We are being murdered in the streets every day in this country. So I can't rest. So you can't rest. So nobody can rest until that problem is solved. And that is why we are here. That is why we are here tonight. There are people who say Blue Lives Matter.
Fuck Blue Lives.
There are people who defend the police and the tyranny that they inflict upon us every day. And they make excuses. They make qualifications. They say not all cops are bad. Not all cops murder. Not all cops do injustice. But you know what all cops do? They stand by while injustice happens. And they say nothing. They say absolutely nothing. And that is why when we say all cops are bastards, we mean all cops are bastards. Because all cops are complicit in injustice. And we're here to let them know that we won't tolerate it anymore. And we have tactics at our disposal. Disrupt, disrupt, disrupt. Disrupt the status quo. There are a lot of people here right now who, and I'm no shame on anybody, a lot of people who might not be here if we weren't in the middle of a pandemic. If you had a job, if you had a 9 to 5, see, the capitalistic society that we live in is predicated on you being too damn busy to recognize your own oppression. On 100% dependent on you being so tired at the end of the day that you don't give a fuck about what's happening to people right down the street. You just want to sleep and get ready for work in the morning. That is what they're counting on us doing. And that is why we're saying we will not do that. Pandemic or no, we are here in the streets every night demanding that what? Black lives matter. Say it again. Black lives matter. That is why we are here. And that is why we will not leave until our demands are met. That is why we will not leave until the man who is occupying the White House is forced to recognize our power. Power. That is all it comes down to. Power. Who has it? Who gets it? Who gives it away? Are we going to give away our power anymore? No! Are we going to say we'll be complicit in injustice anymore? No! Are we tired? Yes! We're tired, but we're not tired enough to go home. We're going to stay here every night. That's what we're going to do. So, I just want to say it one more time. I want each and every one of you, when you're out there on the front lines, when that gas is flying and those grenades are going off, I want you to remember your power. Reach in deep, pull it out, and hold it high. Hold it high and stand strong. Thank you. Stand strong. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Everybody try it again. I'm going to say assalamu alaikum. Y'all say wa alaikum salam. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Everybody here for the frontline drumline. You can't have a movement without rhythm. Everybody, my name is Simon Husseini, and I'm a community organizer with
Well, organizing with my Muslim community ministers and imams for the Bloody Prince Peace Treaty. I was 14 years old. And what happened was you woke up a community and you told them that the fight is not with each other, and you provide them the information for who the fight is against, who has oppressed that community. What happened? We lay claim and responsibility for the LA riots. Everybody, there's like a little Netflix documentary that's floating out there, and it's mostly true. It starts off about 71st and Florence in Los Angeles, where there was a little skirmish between some rival gangs. It was actually a conversation between those gangs, and the cops came, and they did what they do over here with the sacred fence. They started shit that they couldn't stop. When people were awake and they knew that the enemies arrived, they reacted. That was the start of the LA riots. That's how it went down, and I was 14 years old, and I was a youngster organizing in that. Minister Tony Muhammad, Imam Kareem, Imam Sadiq, my leaders, they called us youngsters the ghetto Bedouins, and I carry that name to this day. I'm the true ghetto Bedouin of LA. I love it. So what am I doing up here today? When I was organizing in a movement as a kid, all the way into my teens, all the way into my 20s, my 30s, you had to belong to a movement. You needed a discipline. You needed an education. It's always evolutionary. You don't stop learning. So what did I do today? Today, I signed up to become a member with the Portland DSA.
Woo!
And I'm here to say that I'm with everybody over here. I'm a warm body. I'm a number. I've been at the Justice Center, or the Injustice Center. I've been fighting for Black lives before we had the 3 words. And we still fight for Black lives today. Black lives matter.
Black Lives Matter!
Black lives matter.
Black Lives Matter!
Black lives matter.
Black Lives Matter!
I organize for my Muslim community solely, but I know that deep down inside, I cannot affect change long term for my community unless I'm doing something that can save Black lives. The political change of this country was built upon the erasure of the indigenous and the slavery of African Americans. And systems have been built on a daily basis to be able to track and monitor movements based on the liberation of people of color. Everything that you see, all those Fed agents, VORTAC, ICE, U.S. Marshals, these federal buildings up here, ICE right down the street, all the parameters that were built since 9/11, like the Patriot Act and all that bullshit. Everything that's known in basically what I'm saying. I don't want to go on a rant, but NSA, all these forms of tracking, these tools are there, and we've steadily allowed this to happen before our eyes. Now we're waking up. We've had a collective movement for 65 days, y'all. Remember, media thinks that now that the feds have backed away, they can leave too. Fine. Support your local reporters and independent journalists and keep this movement alive every single day. Number in the crowd and support everybody over here. And I promise to increase my education. And I'm glad to be part of this movement.
you guys hear me better? Awesome. I would like to let you guys know that my name is Martin Anthony. I am born and raised from Seattle, Washington. As I'm sure many of you have heard, we had an Occupy protest last month called Capitol Hill, organized protest. I was one of the main people in that protest. What I came here to say is that I want to thank each and every one of you for the change that you are creating. I tell my city all the time that I have never been prouder to live in my city than I have at this moment. And I want to tell each and every one of you that I have never been prouder to call myself a member of the Pacific Northwest. I have never been prouder to call myself a member of Cascadia than I have at this moment. It's not this words. This is what this is. We are tearing down not just a racist system, but a racist society that is built on the exploitation of others. They have came out here and they have tried to divide us over and over. They give us different labels. They call some of us Antifa.
That's true.
I have no problem telling you guys right now, I am Antifa.
Woo!
I have no problem telling you guys right now that I know the definition of the word fascism, and I have no problem saying I am anti-fascist. Just like I am anti-Nazi. And if you are not anti-Nazi, then who are you?
That's true.
Now, as far as them trying to divide us, what they do not recognize is that everybody out here is out here for the same three things. Correct me if I'm wrong. We are all out here because we believe in justice. We are all out here because we believe in equality. And we are all out here because we believe in the promise of a better future. We see a failing capitalist system, and we do not trust that promise. We see a dying earth, and we do not trust that promise. We see global warming, and we do not trust that promise. Now, right now, Black Lives Matter is the focus because right now, Black lives are the ones being genocided by the United Nations definition of the word. The United Nations defines the word genocide by 5 ways. Number 1, you are killing members of the group. Can we check that off? Number 2, you are causing bodily or mental harm to members of the group. Can we check that off? Number 3, you are inflicting conditions that will deliberately bring apart the destruction of the group, either in part or in whole. Can we check that once again, Portland, I think it is no surprise that the two whitest cities in America are the two making the most change. Because they were not listening until they saw white children being maced in the face, until they saw white elders being knocked to the street, bleeding from their heads, until they saw people that looked like them, until they could relate. So thank each and every one of you for standing up for justice, equality, and the promise of a better future. One last thing before I go, everybody. This all started because we all saw the death of a man named George Floyd over the span of 8 minutes and 46 seconds. We watched the injustice as he was already detained with 3 officers on him and 1 on his neck as he begged for his life and his mother. And each and every one of you said, I cannot stand by in my house anymore and witness that. What I want to let you guys know is that I am a graduate of history from the University of Washington. I have been Black Lives Matter my entire life. This struggle is nothing new. This struggle is nothing new. Black people have been discounted and murdered and literally genocided for centuries, and so have natives. Do not forget, you are still on indigenous land. However, people would try to say that violence delegitimizes a protest. People would dare to claim that violence delegitimizes a protest. Please let me ask you, how many completely peaceful protests throughout world history can you name that were successful? Because they are not willing to listen until you are willing to show what you are willing to risk, until you are willing to put your safety, your freedom, your life on the line. So once again, do not tell me that violence delegitimizes a protest, because I will correct you. If you forgot, this country was built on a protest, and it was not peaceful. I repeat, this country was built on a protest, and it was not peaceful, and so the Boston Tea Party, have you heard it? The Boston Tea Party, they invaded ships and they threw tea overboard and looted to protest taxes. To protest taxes. Has anyone here ever heard of the term tar and feathering?
Yes.
They used to tar and feather the tax collectors, storing hot tar and then feathers to infect the wounds, to protest taxes. We are here to save lives. Don't tell me about my pain. Don't tell me about my pain. Because you are uneducated. I will be as angry and feel as much pain as I need to until you hear us. Which is why we will be out here every day until you hear us. So once again, thank you, Portland. You guys are absolutely amazing. I have never been prouder to be a member of the Pacific Northwest and a nation.
Woo!
All right, we got one more speaker, and then we're gonna head out. First, we're gonna do a little chanting. I think you guys know this one. No justice,
No peace.
Take it to the streets and fuck the police.
No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take Take it to the streets and fuck the police.
Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace.
Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police.
No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. No justice, no peace.
Woo! Black Lives Matter. 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 Black Lives Matter.
Thank you guys for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause for being woke.
Woo!
Nothing needs justice, because our job is not done. We still have a lot of motherfuckers
here to fuck shit up. We are 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 here to fuck shit up. Black Lives Matter. 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 Black Lives Matter.
We are out here as a community every night. Every night. That saying something to be wrong. That Portland, Oregon, known for the rightest state. Rightest shit. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and when I came out, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't see nobody I know around here. What the fuck? Where they at? And it's fucked up because the white people came and drove them out. It is fucked up. That's our community. And you came and took it. And I don't even know where they are. That's sad. So sad. But that's our life, people. This is our life. And y'all need to understand, this is not a joke. We're tired. We're angry. We're mad. We're frustrated. We're mentally drained of educating you on something you should educate yourself on. That's something right in your fucking face. You see it every fucking day. Take off your fucking blinders. Take your fucking blinders off. It's in your face on TV. It's everywhere. But you're still in denial? Like we're lying? Oh, right. We had to do something to receive this treatment. We're such bad people. But we have community. We have love. Even when you hate us. What kind of shit is that? Oh, but I'm the bad person. We welcome into our home, our communities. We work for you. definition of what we should be. So if we do something you don't like, you're like, oh my God, we're individuals. Stop judging us. We don't judge you. And you kill your family. You rape your children. And you call us inhuman? That is inhuman. We love our families. That's what we did as kids. Because Black Lives Matter. Our back is what this fucking country is built on. What white person is going to work as hard as a black person? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What job do you do that we do? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. And then when you do it, a job, you half-ass do it or give it to someone else, or you out drinking with your buddies on your lunch and come back to work drunk. But that's okay. But we can't smoke weed. But you do cocaine all day, crank, meth, that kind of shit. That shit. But something's legal, you don't judge us? That shit. That shit. Stop it. You know, you're not above me. I'm not above you because if you really want to take notes, we're warriors. So we already fucking won. You gotta fucking be warriors about how you've been suppressed and don't know it. Because they teach you to be abused is okay. To make less than them, it's okay, ladies, for him to beat you. It's okay, ladies, for him to rape you, molest your children, because you don't have an income to survive on yourself. So, you have to stay in an abusive situation and pollute 4 generations of abuse, molesting, psychological damage that you've done because you want power, your ego, because you think you're better than someone else, and you're fucking not. You don't know shit. How about that? Because this country was not built on you. It was built on us. You took fucking credit. Like you always do. You better wake the fuck up for what's going on right now. It's not our job to educate you. It's your job. And you better fucking do it. Educate everyone you fucking know. That's your fucking job. You want to fight for Black Lives Matter? Do it. Live it. Don't just pretend, oh, I'm just going to come to a protest. It's our life. And it's not for us. Go home. Black Lives Matter.
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 The police for centuries have been killing us. The police were the KKK.
What's the difference?
There's none. But that's who built it. That's who started it. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The KKK built the police. Hello? Do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me?
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police.
Fuck the police. Y'all supposed to have a head action too. Fuck the police. I see some of y'all. I know y'all say y'all ain't got no rhythm, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Just go on the beat. I'm gonna help you today. I'm gonna educate you today. Just go on the beat. Until we get a beat so I can kind of talk. Come on. Fuck the police.
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 Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck the police.
We gonna teach y'all tonight. Y'all ready? Oh, y'all excited? Y'all know how to dance? I just asked y'all. I said y'all got my back. Y'all gonna do what I said. I saw one person. I'm gonna need y'all to pay attention and follow directions. That's the first thing you're gonna do tonight. Because I'm a black mom and I will beat your ass. One of my other moms. Okay, I'm not playing here. This is our lives. I'm gonna need y'all to follow directions. Shut up. Damn. What's so hard? I ain't gonna tell you nothing. What you think I'm gonna tell you to do, Dre? What's up? Fuck. I'm just telling you to move. Fuck. We ready?
Okay.
I can't drive and drum.
Yeah.
I need two hands to drum and
Yeah, I got you.
horrible pigs.
And on the sneak tip, you know, mom's always got that sneak tip. Oh, y'all just did some exercise. They're ready to fall. How they feel? How they feel? Gotcha. You can get a workout down here every night.
Every night.
Every
You
night.
know what you want to do?
Even in a wheelchair.
Because we here to fuck shit up, right? We here to fuck shit up. I need everyone that has not been here before. Any mom, raise your hand that hasn't been here before. Please match up with the mom that has been here, please. Grab someone in your mom love. Grab another mom. We never leave anybody. Inform them of what they can be in store for. But since I think about 2 nights ago, I think it's been pretty what?
Peaceful.
It's been pretty what?
Peaceful.
Pretty what?
Peaceful.
Pretty what? Pretty what? Pretty what? I'm sure it's been pretty quiet. I'm pretty sure we had a lot to fucking do with that. So give y'all a second. Y'all are fucking applause right now. Look what we got. Around the world, we still not done. We still not done. We still not done. We still not done.
Stay tight. Stay tight. Stay tight.
All right, you beautiful people, I love each and every one of you. And I wish I had a cookie for everybody. But you do your thing tonight because we ready to fuck shit up. Let's find out and roll out.
Can you pin this down all the way? All you have to do is open it. I got the paper and everything. Just push it down.
That's it, Albert. He's watching with the socialist color.
Albert's right there.
Yeah, he's watching with the socialist color.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to be that close to the sidewalk because it's a horrible road for me. I'm going down the middle.
Sounds good. I'll walk with you. I'm easy to spot.
What?
I'm easy to spot.
Yeah.
Will you take this? Okay.
I need a break for a minute. My arms are killing me.
Very well.
I jumped pretty hard. in front of me, so I'm trying really hard not to clip anybody, but a lot of oblivious people. That lady in particular. Pothole.
Thank you for being here.
Black Lives Matter! 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 I want to do mine too eventually. Because I got a bunch of people who don't know shit. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
You're my mother.
You're my mom. All moms, yes.
You guys are backing this up 100%.
Absolutely.
Probably took a lot for you to get out here, but you did it. Because you
I wouldn't
care.
have it any other way. All
Fuck these motherfuckers.
absolutely.
Fuck the police!